Shamai, and welcome to a GTA guide on vehicle cargo sales. So before we get started, just like and subscribe. So what we've got this week is double money on this job, and that's going to make you a lot of money. It's one of the best ways for solo beginners to make money in GTA. That's if you ignore KO, Perico Heist, of course. And you need to have a vehicle warehouse. So there they are, 1.65 million for the La Mesa warehouse, which is the best kind of location really. Only downside is a lot of people have it, so it might be quite busy. So if you're worried about griefers, for example. Now we'll start with this guide by going into sourcing vehicles, and then we'll go into selling the vehicles. So as you kind of seen from the interaction there, I've already sourced a vehicle by logging on at my CEO office, so you will need an office to do this. And we are going to go to the roof because that's where I've parked my cargo bob. Now the cargo bob is going to speed up these jobs a lot more. Cargo bob costs 1.7 million there, so it's well worth the investment. I'm going to take you through the first source mission, which is where your assistant tells you that it's offshore. And this is the worst mission by far that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you why you need a cargo bob for it. Well, actually, you do get a free cargo bob if you go off over to the police station on the other side. But as we have our own cargo bob, we're going to use that to do this mission. With the cargo bob, it's a very slow aircraft, so you need to gain height and then go forwards. I'm going to speed it up here because it's going to be too slow otherwise. One thing of note is the mountains, so you want to go through the valleys where you can, and obviously don't smash it. Normally with these offshore ones, there's an island that you can drop down on because there are guards on these little barges which are being towed by that tug there. See, they're shooting us up, and what we need to do is snipe them before we do this. For some reason, at this point, I'm pressing E, but it's not dropping my hook, which drops from the bottom. So I'm going to go and get another one ultimately. So this is I call it from Pegasus to get the new one. This is not my personal one because that's broke. I don't know if it's done that glitch. It's glitched out because I used my personal vehicle to start off with. But as you can see, you just drop down on the car, go on the bonnet. Normally I aim for the spoiler because the spoiler grips a lot easier, but because of the stress of the people shooting at you, there we go. That's why I dropped it there. There are buzzards that get set off after you, so what I'll do, I'll gain height immediately after picking the car up, and then I'll start moving. And as you can see there, I went through the valleys and made my way across the city there. And nice and easy. However, I have lost like probably £1.5 grand there in making my delivery. I will slow it down once we arrive at La Mesa. So here we are, cargo warehouse. I've overshot it a little bit, but watch out for the telegraph poles, the bridge, and the walls. But if you just drop it close, it will deliver it for you if you're not confident about landing the cargo bob. So that's one waxed. Here's another one. We're using the Buzzard, yet another excellent CEO vehicle, and we're going to go and attack these dudes. There's some gangsters that we're stealing this vehicle off, and it's quite safe to blow them up with the missiles. You can drop on a roof or snipe them from nearby if you're in a car, easily enough as well. It's in a garage, so we don't need to worry about those missiles. Just keep on spamming the old missiles. Right, and now we've got rid of those, we can do a landing pretty much. See, the key's dropped there. So that's why we had to kill those guys to drop the key to the garage door. Just pop in, find the key, it's under there, then go to the garage. Very nice. An old-fashioned vehicle. Right, for this one, I'm going to do it by driving. So I'm going to show you why you need the cargo bob. Normally I'll just drive it out and collect it with the cargo bob. But as you can see, there's a lot of gangsters after us. There's going to be, because this is a high-end vehicle, there's going to be 4 waves of gangsters trying to shoot us. One in a car, one in a helicopter every time. And You'll see me get killed at one point here. I'm using the heavy pistol while I'm in this armoured vehicle to shoot them down, but they can obviously shoot you out of the windows when they're in the cars there. It's tricky because I do fail at this bit because I miscount exactly how many waves there have been. So here's the explosive rounds from the old shotgun. Dragon's Breath rounds. They're not quite reaching it though. So we'll get the minigun out, mini laser gun. This is a lot of work. You're looking at about 6-8 minutes of time, whereas normally it would be more like 2-3 minutes with such a near location. Now, at this point, I think I've got rid of the guards, but I haven't because they are going to lynch me again. We have 1.5 thousand worth of damage done. But it's probably going to be more like 2 grand by the time we finish this one. That's not a big deal though. It's more the time issue of getting these guys killed and the hassle work wasted there. Nice. So I'd advise an investment in the cargo bob. You're better off by far. The other problem as well is that when you're driving the car, the NPCs can pull out in front of you and cause you a significant amount of damage. No matter how careful you are, every now and then they will get you. So you can lose a lot of damage. But when I've been doing this, solo and just driving around, I've lost up to 10 grand worth of damage or more even sometimes. So it is significant at times. Look at that, that was my own fault, smashing into a car there. So 2.5 grand worth of damage, that would have been saved if I had used the cargo bob. Now you may have noticed I was only sourcing high-end vehicles there. So how do I do that? Because you can get high, low and medium-end vehicles. Now if you source 12 high-end, medium-end vehicles, 12 low-end vehicles, then you will source no more low-end vehicles until you've sourced a maximum of high-end vehicles. So if you then source 12 high-end vehicle, the next could be a high, medium or low. But if you have sourced 12, then you need to make a sale. So basically you have the vehicle warehouse at 32 probably at all times, and then when you get double money, then you make the sales. So if I had 24 vehicles, medium and low, so filtering by range there to get high end, then you're only going to source high-end vehicles from there on in. So here's our high-end vehicle, right? We're selling this, so you need to change each detail. So you need to change get the tracker off, get the registration plate changed, change the color of the vehicle. Before I thought it was a really good experience to be testing what kind of upgrades I liked, so I kind of enjoyed that. But the main thing is to put a really good spoiler on, because that will help you with the cargo bob if you're selling via cargo bob. And there we go, wheels. I never bothered with bulletproof tires, I don't think. So that might make a difference, who knows. Now, exporting with cargo bob is the easiest way to do it. I just pull out, and then I should probably put it more in the middle of the roads to make it easier for the cargo bob at that stage, but let's try that. Obviously it's going to be successful because I've already done this. I'm talking postscript. Watch out for those trees on the left, lampposts on the right. And you press E again if you haven't already to deploy the cargo hook if you're playing with PC, keyboard and mouse. Look at that, first time it's grabbed the spoiler there, and then it focuses on the roof. Okay, it's as easy as that. This is the sail. You might see some little red dots on the ground there. These are the bad boys trying to chase me, but they haven't got a chance because I'm in a cargo bob. It's quite slow. You are prone to other players who take a like to blowing you up. These missions, these sails can only be done in a public lobby. So the best trick is to get into a public lobby which is empty. There is a way of doing it that's easiest on PC, I think, but you can do it on the consoles as well. So you probably should Google that if you want to do that. Personally, I like the danger, so I don't do that really. Okay, so let's try a sail with driving. So without the cargo bob and see how that goes. First off, you take a left here and then take a right, and it's going to take you to this little kind of industrial section. So here I am in my nice Vista 811, and on the right here, just pull in. You see the red dots have triggered, so the bad boys are on the way. Get behind this wall, get some kind of weapon, and nail those suckers. This is the excellent shotgun with the Dragon's Breath rounds. Look at that. Unfortunately, they don't spawn later on at a close enough distance to blow them up. Now, the commission is 200,000, so when you pay 400,000 for that high-end commission, you're going to make 160 on double money, but it's going to be more like 80 on single money. Look at this guy. If you notice the car, even though I've parked it on the side of the road, they're still shooting it, and we're losing money with every bullet that hits that car. Not ideal. We're losing about £1,000 there. So it's not the end of the world, but it isn't perfection. I think the main problem with the sales doing it this way is that you're losing time when you could be doing other things. Now, I said it's a good way of making money, this method. As a solo player, you'd be making realistically 3 deliveries an hour, probably just over an hour for that, and that's going to be 480,000 on double money and 240,000 on single money, so double money notably better value. But one thing of note is that you're going to have more money to be made potentially if you have some buddies. So if you have 4 buddies, ideally, you can make 4 sales at a time, and that will net you 640,000 double money or 320,000 single money. And if you have 3 people, it's the same as an hourly, so 480 or 240. Now this would probably be over a 45-50 minute period, because there's a cooldown of 45 minutes between group sales like that. Okay. And there's also a 5 minutes cooldown between sourcing vehicles. But you could do other jobs with your buddies, such as your terabyte jobs. And terabyte's pretty good because you can source vehicles from the terabyte as well as do the jobs between the missions. So this becomes invaluable because you can place the terabyte over towards where your cargo warehouse is, and if your office is over on the other end of the city, you can then access them a bit easier for being more efficient for sourcing vehicles if it drops you at either end of the city, depending upon where the last job has ended. So it gives you more freedom, more options. Here's a little mission. This is a sourcing mission where the police are about to impound this one. So I just drop on a roof and I shot them there, and then I drive around and lose the police. If you have no flying vehicles like this one or the Buzzard, then you could use an armoured car or any kind of car, obviously, and try and lose the police that way. But it's best to lose the police before you get in that car, because the wanted level means that they would be shooting you and destroying the car. Okay, so here's the ETR. For some reason, I don't drive it home. Thing is, you can sometimes get the NPCs getting in the way, causing you damage. So even on a short distance like this, it's probably safer to get the old cargo bob out at this point. So here we are, cargo bob. So again, it points out the value of the cargo bob, I think. The thing is, with the cargo bob, it can be tricky to learn how to pilot it, so that's something that's also part of the investment. It's not just the price of the millions of dollars. So I started by not using the cargo bob for a long time, and just enjoyed driving along, numptying around, taking a few thousand damage. I took up to 10-15 grand worth of damage at times sourcing vehicles. And sometimes the sales could be a nightmare, but I don't think I've been griefed in a sale, but it does happen where people try and grief you. And I came very close one time, but I didn't get it on video. So the cargo bob does help with that, but ideally you want to be in a solo session. But the problem is, you can only do these jobs in a public lobby. So I play on PC, other people on console, but on both of those platforms there is a way of making a solo session I'm not sure if it's against the terms and conditions, which it probably is. It's probably it counts as an exploit, so it's obviously up to you if you wanted to use that method or whether you wanted to take a risk. I know I never used it, and I took a risk, and I didn't lose a great deal, to be quite honest. But I think it's using your common sense when you're in a session to look who's around, what they're up to. So that's and that I think draws us to a close with this little guide for you. So I hope that's been helpful. If it has been helpful, then do like and subscribe, and drop a comment if you have any questions, and I'll be there to help you. Thank you very much for watching.